Young Master Hobbit.
Me?
Yes, you. Have you ever heard of a chicken sandwich?
I can't say that I have. And what are you doing here in my hole?
Well, I was supposed to be here about 60 years ago, but I got lost, and I wasn't able to make it with the other 9 hobbits that came.
Wait, what?
Yes, the 9 hobbits. Thorin Oakenshield and his band of merry men.
I thought we were in my book and there weren't 9 hobbits. There weren't even 9 dwarves. What are you talking about?
I am talking about the 9 dwarfs, not hobbits, Master Hobbit.
You're Gimli, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
I met your dad.
Who?
He was one of the 12 dwarves that ransacked my home.
You met my dad?
Yeah.
I don't know my dad. How do you know my dad?
I'm pretty sure he knew you. He carried a photo around, showed it to everyone, and your mother and her beard.
What did they look like?
Very hairy and short and fat.
Never mind that, Master Hobbit. Have you heard of a chicken sandwich?
No, what's it like?
It is buns with fried chicken and lettuce and tomato and a thing that these men call mayonnaise.
Can't say that I've heard of that. This mayonnaise you speak of.
Do you have chickens, Master Hobbit?
Yes.
Then we will make chicken sandwiches, Master Hobbit. And you will kill the chickens.
I didn't sign up for this.
Too bad, because the Hobbit and the Two Towers GBA enjoy Chicken Guy. Hello, welcome to Anovel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and wife, Karradyne.
I already need to correct myself.
What happened?
There were 13 dwarves, not 12. There were 13. I confused myself because when Bilbo signs his contract, he's agreeing to get 1/14 of the treasure, and I was thinking about like Gandalf, him, and all of the dwarves. I can't remember if Thorin's not counted because it's like all his, or if Gandalf was like, I don't need anything, don't count me. But that's why I thought it was 12 in my head. But I was like, wait, no, it's 13.
I see.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes, but it's definitely not 9,
Well-
which is the fellowship, not the troop of dwarves.
And well, maybe Gimli has gotten hit in the head way too many times, and that's why he thought that it was
my
9.
God.
I know I've been hit in the head way too many times, and that's why I think it's 9, not 13 or
Okay.
12.
Okay.
Hey, so how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm doing well. I am sitting in my chair, relaxed.
And you have a glass of mead.
I have a glass of
Very
mead,
potent mead.
which
It's
is
fitting.
It's very fitting for this week's episode because it is the start of the 2 weeks of Middle Earth March.
Only 2 weeks.
Yeah,
The
because
month was too much for you.
actually, it if we want to keep doing Middle Earth March, we're probably gonna have to do 2 a week, a month, because
There's not enough content.
there's not enough games.
Yeah.
So
We will have to repeat ourselves every year. Otherwise, there's just not enough, unfortunately.
yeah, and guess what?
What?
Our Patreon supporters are getting something fun this week.
The Lord of the Rings
Movie.
animated.
Yes.
The 1978
Yeah,
animated film.
we're gonna watch it, and we're probably gonna release an episode on it Saturday.
Sometime
Sometime soon.
Maybe Saturday?
Yeah, because this week kind of beat me down at work so bad that yesterday I sat down to play some video games and I fell asleep as soon as I grabbed the controller.
And you've never done that.
I was driving into a crowd.
Oh,
And
no.
when I opened my eyes back up, I jumped because I was startled because I saw the motorcycle going straight into a fucking ravine. So I was playing Cyberpunk. But
You are constantly playing Cyberpunk.
it's so...
I think it's like the never-ending game. Is there a Falcor?
Maybe. Maybe there is. I am not going to say anything until the review, or if you want to hear more about it, just join our Patreon, $2 a month.
Yeah.
And we will definitely have part 2 out this week. It might be.
We will?
Yes. It might be Tuesday or Wednesday.
We're only on part 2?
Yes. And I still haven't written part 3, but I have everything.
Yeah, I've noticed that
away.
you haven't been blowing up Discord with notes.
Yeah. Yeah, because after.
It's like, oh, he forgot.
No. The thing is that nothing substantial has happened in the story where I've been like, oh, I need to take notes. Like, the missions have been super simple. And they really don't have a lot of meat for me to just sit down and write a lot like the first and second parts did. But other than that, we're doing a little bit of a change. We're getting rid of housekeeping. No more housekeeping.
Nobody listens to it anyway.
No, people tune out as soon as we say garbage or
yeah.
Okay or whatever. So what we're going to do is, this, because we've been asking the listeners to tell their friends, just tell your friends. They can find us on
everywhere.
Every single podcast app out there. We are on it.
Even on Facebook.
So yeah, just do that. And if you or your friends want to send us an email, just send us an email at anovelconsole@gmail.com. And if you don't feel like sending an email because that's something your grandpa would do, just set us up on socials. We would love to get any feedback or comment or anything. And
correspondence.
Yes. And Karradyne, let's move on from that. Tell me about this movie we got invited to this week.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if this is like a thing that's going to be like a thing, us getting invited to advanced screenings of movies. But this week we've been invited to go see The Lost City with Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, and Daniel Radcliffe. He's the villain. He's a little bitty thing. He's so short. But anyway, Sandra Bullock is like a romance adventure author, and she has book covers that are like your typical like Fabio-esque romance covers where the guy's got long hair and naked and ladies all damsel in distress. And Channing Tatum is her like cover model basically. And Daniel Radcliffe's crazy ass shows up at like one of her book signings and is like, hey, I really liked this city with treasure in your book. Take me there. And she's like, I made that up, right? And then he kidnaps her. And Channing Tatum's like, I'm going to show everybody that I really am a hero. And he decides he's going to go save her. And yeah, it looks really good.
So if it wasn't for Channing Tatum and Daniel Radcliffe, because I know Daniel Radcliffe can be funny, I think this movie would be a big no for me.
What do you have against Sandra Bullock?
She just makes movies that are not for me. So
I love her movies.
Okay, then good for you.
Some of them.
Good for you.
Of them, I'm sure.
I don't actually love her movies.
Do you remember when she was with that guy who left her or cheated on her with? I can't remember if it was cheated on or just left. For Kat Von D.
The Choppers guy?
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing.
The dude who looks kind of like James Hetfield.
Yeah, I would have left her for,
God.
Kat Von D, even though she's batshit and doesn't believe in vaccines.
Yes, she's now with that Prayers dude, and they're super hardcore vegan. Nothing against it. Nothing against it, but
she also
they have a baby.
She dated Deadmau5, and she was
did
engaged.
date Deadmau5 for a long time.
And then when they broke up, she started dating Steve-O.
She did?
You don't remember that?
No, I
Yeah,
just remember her going to Prayers.
Oh, boy.
I don't even know what his actual name is. I think he's like a goth person singer dude.
A golf person singer?
Yeah, a golf singer. They freak me out a little bit.
So the golf singers, do they whisper like they do in the golf games?
Oh my god, you sound like a fucking ASMR person. What the hell was that?
One of our dickbag neighbors. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they've been doing that all afternoon. Anyways, moving on. So this is the second one we've been invited to, right?
Yeah.
So it pays off that I married you, so I can get to see.
Yes, because my bookstagram is booming, while our podcast
is dead.
Is a boomer. No, it's not a boomer. But it gets like as much attention as a boomer on the internet does. Does that make sense?
So I guess that our listeners are the boomer friends that always encourage the boomers to say weird stuff on the internet. That's fine. I love our listeners. They're great.
I do too.
Yeah.
And this is fun. Like, That's why we do it.
I mean, it's
we
for
have
us.
fun.
It's for us.
It'd be really cool if we made money off of it, but it's just fun.
Okay, so our Patreon does enough money that they cover.
It pays for our Buzzsprout.
Yes, and that's perfect.
I mean, yeah, that's all we need covered.
Exactly.
So.
We don't need anything else.
Yeah.
And on sometimes they do cover the giveaways, which we still have that giveaway hanging in the air with that we have to figure out how the fuck we're gonna do. Because
we'll get there eventually.
We just need the tracking. That's the only thing we need. Anyways, so what have you been reading this week?
Oh man, I've been reading so much shit. I'm actually reading very fast, so just ignore everything that I said to you before the episode. I don't know what has changed or if I'm just more invested in everything these days, but
you stopped posting on Instagram. That's what happened.
Yeah, I don't really get on my phone all that much, and somehow my Bookstagram is still like staying the course a little bit. I mean, I'm getting invited to shit and getting offered to be paid for shit, so whatever, it's fine.
Okay, so
my engagement is not very high.
I think we talked about our New Year's resolutions when the year started, and I said that one of mine was to be off the phone as much as possible. So that I could play more video games.
Yeah.
Was that one of yours too, and that's why you're not posting anymore?
Well, I mean, I started doing this even before the new year because you made too many comments to me about being on my phone all the time.
Yeah, because we would go out on a date, and the
I'd be
entire
on my
time
phone
there,
the whole
you'd be on your
time.
phone, and the entire time
Well,
there.
you know, you said it
back.
just enough times that I stopped getting on my phone, like, ever. And I had gotten into a really bad habit where it was also, like, affecting me physically because I would sit at my desk at work on my phone all the time, but I'm, like, hiding it under my desk and my neck started to hurt. I'm getting old, okay?
So am I.
We're really fucking old.
Yeah. So what have you been reading?
So I'm rereading The Love Hypothesis because I got the box with the gifts and you open them on certain pages. So yesterday I opened my first gift and I was slightly underwhelmed, but it's all right. It was high quality. Just not really something I want.
What was it, like a beaker or something?
It's a really nice insulated tumbler with a straw and everything, but it's white and it just has like math equations written all over it. It doesn't even
is that
have
thing on the counter?
Yes, that's it.
Oh.
It doesn't even have like the book. If it had like the book title or their pictures on it too, I would like it more. But it's just equations.
Oh, boy.
The equations might mean something, but I don't math anymore, so I don't know.
We could give it to Ephra. He might be able to
We'll
figure
take a picture of it and send it to him.
He's a NASA scientist in Egypt. So.
He's smart. He's smart. He's big
he's
smart.
in Norway right now, so that's different.
Big smart compared to us.
Yeah, he's big smart.
So yeah,
I don't know why he used to hang out with me because I'm stupid as shit.
No, you're not. I am reading... Oh, God, what else am I reading? I'm reading All My Rage, which is really sad, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue reading it because it's so sad. And I am reading A Fate of Wrath and Flame, and The Nature of Middle Earth, and The Fall of Gondolin, and I think that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So I'm playing the Persona Arena Ultimax, the Persona fighting game that came out this week.
Was there a dick chariot?
No, there's not, because it's a fighting game and there's no summoning. But, I mean, there is summoning, but there is no getting new personas. So it's based on, like, Persona 4 and the characters, and it has a couple of 3 thrown in there for spice, which I like.
A thruple.
No, it's just a lot of people. Oh. And actually, we could play that game because it is a 2D fighter, like Dragon Ball, and it does have kind of the same button layout of one-button combos that lead up into specials. Sure, if that lets you sleep at night, sure. So
you know I beat you a lot.
We'll try the game later on, and we'll figure it out, because I know I can beat your ass. And other than that, I did buy Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, which came out Friday, and I think it's a retelling of the original Final Fantasy. But
you have retellings in video games?
Yes, we do, surprisingly. Final Fantasy VII Remake is actually a retelling of Final Fantasy VII. It's not an actual remake word for word.
So that laugh scene is a remake?
No, that's from 10. That's not 7.
Oh, 10, not 7. Damn. Ha 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 ha.
But the Stranger of Paradise, the only reason why I bought it is not because of the gameplay or the story or whatever. It's just because every trailer that I've seen has been just completely batshit. The main character has a boner for killing chaos. In every trailer, he's like, I'm here to kill chaos. I'm going to kill chaos. We're going to kill chaos. And basically, I'm like, okay, weird. And then somebody showed me another trailer where he's talking to like this princess, and this princess says, and if we hold out hope, we can win. And he looks at her and goes like, bullshit, and turns on his phone, and he's playing Limp Bizkit as he's walking away.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's super fucking crazy. So I can't wait to jump into that after I'm done.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it does. After I'm done with Cyberpunk, I'm going to jump into that shit. Hopefully I'll be done with Cyberpunk soon, because Jesus, I am 60 hours in and nowhere near done.
That's insane to me.
60 hours. That is
I don't know how you do
bananas. It's so good, though. Well, I shouldn't say that it's so good, because I should hold my opinions out for the episode. Anyways, apart from that, is there something you're craving to read right now?
Craving?
Yeah, like a style of book or like a type of story.
I just got that copy of Gallant by V.A. Schwab last weekend. Yeah?
I don't know.
Was it the day we went to the mall? Yeah, last weekend.
Okay, then last weekend.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. No, I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, so I really want to read that, but like craving like a certain genre or anything? Not really. I'm all over the place with my genres right now. I'm reading fantasy and romance and basically like a textbook. That's the nature of Middle Earth. It is a textbook.
So you're going to school too?
Yeah. Last night I got to read all about how like elf years and Numenorian years are different than regular years, and like how Arwen may have been thousands of years older than Aragorn when they got married, but really she was only like 32 in elf years and he was only like 40 in human years. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And God, the man,
so was Viggo Mortensen.
God, I just wish, God, I wish he were still alive. Because to pick the man's brain,
it would be awesome.
Yeah, to say the least.
So the reason that I ask you is because I have been having a hankering for the past 2 or 3 months since we started watching Boba Fett. Right?
You want to play a Star Wars game?
I do. Are
there any Star Wars games you haven't played?
Yes, surprisingly.
Oh.
There are.
There are lots of Star Wars books I haven't read, aka all of them.
There's a lot of Star Wars games that I haven't played. So before that, I kind of have the urge to play a Dark Souls type game, which is why I got Elden Ring.
Praise the sun.
And I haven't started Elden Ring, and I probably won't start Elden Ring for a long while.
I keep seeing all those statuses on Facebook
about people playing it,
being in an abusive relationship with
Elden Ring.
Yeah. I think Mariela shared that
Yeah, she did.
and tagged Kiko.
She did. But I think Stranger of Paradise is a little bit Dark Souls-y. I'm not 100% sure, so maybe that'll scratch the itch. If not, I'll have to play Elden Ring, which
isn't like that like high fantasy for a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very high fantasy.
I like that.
Yeah, but this is also
That's my crack.
It's also very dark high fantasy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. And the Star Wars game, since we started watching Boba Fett, I have been having a hankering to play a good Star Wars game. So for May, since we decided to do a Star Wars month,
may the Force be with you.
Exactly. I am thinking of going through KOTOR and a couple of other Star Wars games that I've played before that would just be like a quick playthrough so that I can remember them and, just do the episodes on them and have fun and whatnot.
That's a bummer.
What?
May the 4th is not on a Monday.
No, I know.
It's on a Wednesday.
I know. I checked.
Lame.
I checked already.
We can do a Patreon episode on May the 4th.
On May the 4th. And on May 29th, we have a very special guest coming. But I'm not going to say anything just in case. But it is
because our plans have fallen through the cracks before.
I mean, he did tell me yesterday, yeah, I'll be there. We're going to do it. Let's go. And I'm like, oh, shit. We're talking Star Wars. He's like, I don't know a lot about Star Wars. So I'm like, that's perfectly fine.
Why would you ask somebody who doesn't know? I mean, I don't know a lot about Star Wars. But
Neither do I. So we're just going to sit here and say stupid shit and nobody...
Look at my cool Star Wars Legos.
Yeah. Nick is going to be screaming at
us.
Yep.
And our lack of Star Wars
And he's
knowledge.
probably going to be texting me like, you're a fucking idiot. Stop saying shit that you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's perfectly fine. But speaking of something else that I don't know, we have a sex toy for this week.
Oh, God.
And this one, I want you to have a full view of it when I click that page.
I don't want to.
There you go.
Why? Is it like fucking crochet?
Yep.
What?
It is.
That would scratch your hoo-ha to pieces. Why? I would never put anything crocheted in my vagina.
Karradyne.
What?
It's a Minions.
I can see what it is. I know nobody else can see what it is.
It's called lingerie for sex, underwear.
Lingerie
for sex, underwears, men's sexy underwear, men minion thong, cum panties, willy warmer, boyfriend gift, penis warmer costume.
Penis warmer.
So this
But
is
the thing is, the dummy that it's on, it makes it look like it's a strap on.
Oh yeah, because for your balls, so your balls can hang out.
Oh my God, it's just like
and that's
boy.
a wedding. Jesus Christ, that is upsetting.
Wow.
So it is basically a thong for men to put their wiener inside of a Minions thingy.
But they have it displayed on a female dummy.
Because on the guy
fuck?
dummy, it would need to have balls so that the balls can slide through underneath the bottom part.
Oh my God.
So-
it's only $17.60.
And it's in stock. You save $4.40 with a 20% discount.
Do they have other designs?
I'm
you
not
should
sure.
totally look at their shop
I'm not sure.
and see if they have like Aragorn penis warmers.
So it is on Etsy. It's called the Minions Thong, and it is absolutely horrible.
Horrible.
It's horrorful. So it's a great product and went down a storm at a storm at our Scottish wedding.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that means. So there's a picture of two dudes wearing
Why would
it.
you let your husband do that? Why?
This is such a fun gift. Love it. It was exactly as shown and has true sizing. So worth it.
Do you want to put your dick in some crocheted shit?
No, I feel like it would get
Itchy.
Yeah, and hot.
And like get like lint stuck in your dinger.
Okay,
oh
so
God,
there's
there are
more.
more.
There's
It's a shark.
elephants, corn, pumpkins. There's I don't want to see that. And there's like a koozie with a Batman cape and everything
What the hell?
for your willy.
Why? Who found this shit?
Guess.
Burger Champ.
Yep.
What the fuck? It looks like a fucking Twinkie.
It,
It looks like a Twinkie.
it does have a cream filling.
Oh my God! No!
So,
Ew, can you imagine a dude using that like socks?
oh my God.
Yeah, it would just itch. It would scratch you so much. And you'd probably have a rash or a carpet burn on your dick.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and get in some book talk?
Yep, let's move on. This week's book is The Hobbit, or There and Back Again, by J.R.R. Tolkien, published originally on September 21st, 1937. Holy shit, is this book old. I mean, we're like only, 15 years away from 100 years? That's insane.
What?
1937, it was
Oh.
published. In 15
wow.
years, it will celebrate its 100th birthday. Oh my God, can you imagine the special editions that they're probably going to come out with? Unfortunately, I'm going to be 45 years old. That sucks.
And I probably won't be alive by then.
Oh, don't even say that. I'm going to punch you in the face. Anyway, so I listened to the Andy Serkis audiobook because I had not listened to this one yet on audio. I listened to the whole trilogy last year twice. Well, the first time I listened to it with the original narrator, and then the second time with Andy. But I knew that Andy had done the charity event thing that he did where he sat and read The Hobbit online for 11 hours straight. And that's what led to him being brought on to record all the books because everybody loved it so much. But I didn't watch the stream or anything because I'm an idiot, apparently. But I did see he was on the Stephen Colbert show, and we all know the Colbert is the biggest Lordo fan ever other than me. No, I pale in comparison to some of those crazy people out there, which is hard to believe, really, because, you get really annoyed with me. But there are people out there who love it more than I do.
What? How do I get annoyed with you?
You tell me we don't have to watch it all the time, and when we sit down to watch a movie, you don't want to watch that. And you don't need to see it multiple times, and it's all I ever want to do.
Okay, that's true.
Anyway, so I watched the video, the clip of him with Colbert. I didn't realize just how many characters are in this whole span of books. It's 132 fucking different characters.
Really?
Yes. And he did a different voice for every single fucking one. A different voice for every single one. And I really liked his method. Because Colbert asked him how he kept track of which voices he did for everybody. And I knew that he was channeling all of the other actors in some of the voices that he did. Because he really sounded a lot like Ian McKellen when he was Gandalf. And he sounded very similar to Merry and Pippin with the Frodo. Frodo, he's so fucking boring. Let's just not even go there. But he was saying how he would position himself differently around the microphone, and Gimli's way down here and Gandalf is way up here and Smeagol is over here but Gollum is over here. It was wonderful, wonderful, and that's all I have to say about this book. No, I'm kidding. But no, listening to Andy Serkis narrate this book was so fun, and I tend to forget sometimes that The Hobbit is more fun in some ways because it is more of a children's book, and it's not so much doom and gloom like The Lord of the Rings is. Not that it's doom and gloom, it's just, the fate of the whole world is at risk with the trilogy, whereas with The Hobbit, it's literally just is Thorin gonna get his mountain and his treasure back, and it's not really, the whole world's gonna fall apart.
So, okay. I know that they made...
You have only seen the movies, and that's all you know.
They made 3 Hobbit movies.
Yes. There's only one book. He split it up into 3 different parts.
Okay, so it does everything that happens in the movie except for the characters that he made up and bringing back Legolas. Does it happen? Is there a War of 5 Armies?
Yes, there is a Battle of 5 Armies. But he made the movies a lot more Azog and Necromancer heavy, whereas they're touched on in the book, but it's not.
Does Azog get killed in the book?
So that's another way Mr. Jackson took a lot of creative liberties. So Azog was actually killed way back when by Dane Ironfoot. He's the one that shows up on a pig or whatever during the Battle of 5 Armies. Wild, crazy red hair. But yeah, he actually killed Azog after Azog killed Thror. Thror? Yeah. Yeah. It was Thror, Thrain, Thorin, right? Anyway, but Bolg is there at the Battle of 5 Armies, and I think it's a stray arrow from, not stray arrow, but an arrow from Bolg that kills Thorin, and Keely and Feely are trying to protect Thorin as they were in the movie, but there's no elf to cry over Keeley dying. But the Thranduil, that is a legit part of it. It's just Legolas is not part of it. I mean, he may have been there, I don't know, but he wasn't like cited specifically as the Woodland King's son was there as well. And Bard obviously is important. He does like become the leader of Lake Town, and you do have the corrupt leader of Lake Town who like gets banished or whatever. But yeah, Peter Jackson took the most liberties with the Azog stuff and the Tauriel stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, what was he gonna do? Like, actually, like, there was this joke that I saw that he was gonna describe every single food item perfectly word by word in picture form in the movie, from the break-in from the dwarves into Bilbo's house.
Yeah, whatever.
So he had to make shit up, right?
I mean, to get 3 movies out of it, yeah, you got to make shit up. But there was some stuff that like I forgot was actually in the book. It had been a long time since I read the book before I saw the movies. Because I don't think I ever reread that one until
now.
No, I reread it in 2020. I was rereading this like at the beginning of March 2020, like right when the pandemic started, because I remember sitting out on that balcony and listening to it and just like having cabin fever because we couldn't go anywhere but home and work. I just wanted to sit out on the balcony and listen to my audiobook because I couldn't go anywhere.
It's funny,
I was losing my mind there at the beginning, and now I don't want to go anywhere.
You said that you had cabin fever, but when you go out, you just want to come back home.
Exactly. That's the case now. I've gotten so used to having to stay home, I don't want to leave and go anywhere.
I don't want to go anywhere ever.
I know. Anyway,
we're so alike, and you still don't want to admit that you don't want to go anywhere ever.
Hush.
Want to be so different from your husband.
But I forgot that the mountains fighting each other is actually something that happens in the book. I thought that was something Peter Jackson made up when I saw the movies. I was like, oh shit, this is actually in here. It's wonderful. And I remember being so pumped when we finally got to see Beorn, because I was worried that Beorn might be somebody like Tom Bombadil that Peter Jackson decided to get rid of. But I was glad that he included him in the movie. He's the shifter guy. He turns into a big bear. But the thing is, he comes and helps in the Battle of the Five Armies, whereas I don't think he shows up in the battle in the movie. Does he show up in the movie?
I think he might have.
I can't remember.
Didn't he turn into like a bear or something and kill some stuff?
He does turn into a bear. But does he show up in the battle in the movie?
I think he does. I think I remember a bear
that
killing.
One in a long time. I need to rewatch it now that I have my DVD player.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch it.
Isn't it also on HBO Max?
I don't think the Hobbit movies are. The Lord of the Rings is. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted the DVD player, because I thought that it'd be okay after they put Lord of the Rings and the extended editions on there, but then they didn't put the Hobbit.
I see.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm still sitting here not watching them. So I've only seen Battle of the Five Armies extended once, I think, because I slept through you watching it. Yeah. Have I said anything about the book so far?
No.
I love it. I love it. It's a really, really good book. It's very fun. And I know I said this last year, but I forget like how much singing is in the books until you reread them. There are lots and lots of songs. Lots of songs. It's fun listening to Andy Serkis sing those songs.
So, I do have a question.
What?
So this book is for children.
Yes.
Upon rereading it, do you feel like it's a book for children that adults would enjoy, or do you feel like it's not?
Oh no, it's definitely a book that more adults than children would enjoy.
So
it's long.
It's no, well, back then there was no PlayStation.
True.
And opera and the theater was expensive, so I guess reading a book was the only thing you have. So if it was long, I'm guessing that's the equivalent of Cyberpunk 2077.
I mean, true. And Andy Serkis showed that you could sit down and read it in an 11-hour span.
Hey, that is a short game by today's standards.
I can't. Sounds
That
like a
is
long day to me.
That is a
That's
Call
not
of
even a
Duty
long day.
campaign.
Oh my gosh. I can't. But yeah, it's cute. He I
Andy or
I don't even know.
Tolkien.
Andy. He if you haven't listened to the audiobooks with him narrating, like you really, really need to. He is so fucking good. He brings so much life to the story. You can literally see it in your mind. He is great. Great. And this story is just so action packed, and like I said, it's not the doom and gloom. It's just an adventure. It's more like a fun adventure than the trilogy is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
It's more lighthearted, even though there is death. I am fire, I am death.
Smaug.
Yeah, it's more chill. Like there's the fate of the world is not in Bilbo's hands.
Oh, thank
Unfortunately, he does pick it up and unknowingly make it his nephew's problem. But he ultimately doesn't have to deal with it because
Of course.
enough years pass that he's too old to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do something different, but we're still going to give this book a rating. Instead of you rating this book, because I had talked about this months ago, and now I finally am doing something about it.
I mean, I always rate it based on what you're about to say.
Okay, so just to clarify, what would you rate your experience reading this book?
5 fucking stars.
So it was a
All
5-star
day long.
experience.
Yes, it's wonderful. It just makes my heart happy.
I bet it does. You look happy talking about it.
Even though I said absolutely nothing about the book. I was just rambling.
You kind of did. I mean, you didn't spoil.
Kind of.
You didn't spoil this story.
It is almost 100 years old. So
And
if I did, you couldn't be mad at me.
And you wouldn't spoil the story. You don't remember
I
anything
know.
from the book.
Wait, what? Hey! Everybody knows that Thorin and Keely and Feely die. I spoiled it.
I guess. All right. So, are you ready for some games and stuff?
I'm ready.
All right. So this is games and stuff. All right. So for this week's games, we have the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers video game. But unlike last year, this is the Game Boy Advance version, which I didn't talk about last year. It was developed by Kryptonite Games and published by EA Games on October 21st, 2002. And it's different, obviously, from the GameCube version that I reviewed last year, because the Game Boy Advance is way less powerful than a GameCube.
And significantly smaller.
And significant. You
Because
finally.
it's not on a TV.
Did you see how small that Game Boy
Yeah,
Advance
it's really
is?
fucking small. I have no idea how anybody plays games on that thing.
So it's
It's so little.
It's a Game Boy Advance SP, and it's modded with an IPS screen so that it looks really bright. It actually has 10 levels of brightness. The problem with that is that it drains the battery like crazy, so I have to play it plugged into the wall. And my giant gorilla hands make it really hard for me to play sometimes.
You do have giant gorilla hands.
Yeah, my Donkey Kong hands. And they made my hands cramp up, and it just hurts, and it's not fun. And I eventually start just losing all movement on my fingers, and I have to stop playing. And
It
I
would
hate
make
that.
my eyes hurt.
See, it doesn't
It's so
really
small.
It doesn't really make my eyes hurt because you put it at a distance in your face where you can actually see everything and you can actually appreciate everything going on. And because it's a small Game Boy game, it's about almost 32 bits, which is what the PlayStation 1 was. Then you have less detail and more emphasis on what's going on, so you don't get distracted as easily as if you were to have let's say, a PlayStation 2 game on a PSP or a PS Vita. So I think it works perfect. But this game is a isometric action game in the style of Diablo. So your camera is kind of at like an angle looking at the battlefield and your character as you walk around and fight the orcs and the dark elves.
I
And
saw your little Gandalf flailing around.
yeah, they do flail around and kind of like swing their whole body when they swing their weapons and whatnot. And like Diablo, you do level up. You do get some points that you can add to your stats, so you can increase your health, your accuracy.
Do you turn into Gandalf the White?
I will get to that in a little bit.
Oh.
Like I was saying, you can upgrade your health, your defense, your strength, your courage, and everything, so that your character becomes more powerful.
Gandalf doesn't need any more courage.
So that your character can grow more powerful as the game goes.
He fights a Balrog, bitch.
I will get to that in a little bit. So the characters do also get points to buy special abilities. Aragorn has one where he can equip 2 swords, so you have 2 swords the whole time.
Nice.
He has one where he spins around and attacks the enemies like that. He also has one where he screams and he becomes more powerful. Gandalf has the rocket from the beginning of the first movie. The dragon. The dragon rocket.
The dragon firework?
Yeah, he has that ability. He has an electric thingy. They all heal themselves. Yeah, they all have different abilities. And that's kind of like the Diablo-ish nature of the game. Apart from that, the game is also kind of a looter. So what a looter means is that as you're killing enemies, they're dropping loot that you can grab and use to equip so that you have better items. The problem with this game is that for some reason they only give you 10 inventory spot and the loot drops like fucking crazy. So your inventory spots are full by like 2 minutes into the game.
Oh my gosh.
And you can't really do anything with that unless you find a little fountain where you can sell the shit to buy more shit or, buy points so that you can upgrade yourself and whatnot. There are a lot of things about the game that I just consider to be amazing for the time that it was released and for the console that it was released, and even more it being attached to a license, because licensed games are usually crap. They're usually hot shit. And this game is actually pretty good. I do have a couple of complaints about the game. The biggest one being that there's no map at all for you to see what the specific area that you are looks like. So you basically have to travel the whole place and explore every corner. Otherwise, you won't know where to get out or secrets you're missing and shit. Which is very annoying in this type of game. Because sometimes you'll just end up walking in circles because the map for some reason might have like a cliff on one side that you have to climb over a little ledge, and then you might accidentally climb back down that ledge because you got involved fighting some orcs and shit, and you got turned around, and then you're like back at the beginning of the game. You're like, what the fuck? Why did I just walk all the way back here? Why is this stage so big? So a map would be great for that. I also hate that the inventory slot is so small, and the biggest thing that I hate about this game is how inconsistent the fighting is. So you have an accuracy stat, which determines how many times your attacks land. And you have to put points into that so that your attacks land. And it's very annoying because you can be in front of the orc, swinging your sword away, and all you hear is like clink, 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 and it's the sword hitting the orc's armor. And you'll see like little sparks flying off of the orc. And then you'll hear like a chunky sword hits flesh type of sound. And you'll see a little bit of black blood coming out of the orc. And you're like, oh, that's actually damage. And it's very annoying because sometimes you'll just be pressing the button just to get one hit in to kill that one orc who keeps swinging at you. And every swing he takes at you takes a huge ass chunk of your health.
Of course it does. Well, you're taking none of his.
Yeah, because apparently the saviors of Middle Earth are made out of paper mache. Because it is so inconsistent how you take damage in the fucking game. It is the most obnoxious thing.
Which is insane, because, like, Aragorn is the only person that you ever even see really get injured. It's just when he takes that fall.
Pretty much.
When he's like thrown over a cliff.
You need to throw him
He
off.
still survives.
Gandalf fell down in a bottomless pit.
Well, yeah,
He made
so
it on the other side.
He was a little banged up, but he came out perfectly fine. Not a bruise in sight.
Yep.
He was reborn.
Basically. So, yeah, those are the things that annoy the shit out of me about this game, especially whenever you encounter a boss fight, like the troll in Minas Tirith.
Cave troll?
Yeah.
In
No.
Moria?
Moria, yeah.
I was about to say, you're mixing up your M words.
No, in Moria, yeah. But let me tell you about that goddamn troll. That motherfucker has this one attack where he smacks the ground and and spikes come out of the fucking roof.
What?
And you're walking away as Gandalf to find a spot to hide so that your magic can recover so you can heal yourself, and the spikes give you damage.
Are you serious?
It is so fucking annoying. And the thing is that you get next to it and you start swinging at it, and same shit. Some attacks land, some don't. But all of his attacks, they fucking land.
Of course they do.
And it took me a good 20 minutes of repeating that fight just to beat him. The way that I beat him was I would do some damage, go away, wait a couple of minutes for my magic to fill up, go back and beat his ass, do the same shit, go back until I finally killed him. And oh my fucking God, it was so annoying. And the thing is that when this game does that thing where a bunch of enemies are kind of like surrounding you and you're just swinging your sword and killing them left and right, that feels awesome. Because you feel like you're actually
a badass.
In the Lord of the Rings. You're fucking Gandalf swinging your sword, or you're Legolas shooting your bow, or Frodo stabbing shit. Which Frodo actually kills orcs in this game. Which
Yay, Frodo.
He doesn't kill any in the movie.
Bless his heart.
Does he kill in the movie? He doesn't.
He kind of hides the whole time.
Yeah,
until he gets whacked by the troll. But he's saved by his mithril. He's
a little bitch. Fucking Sam kills more people than him.
Sam is the true hero of the Lord of the Rings.
He is. So, this reminds me of that meme. Throw it into the fire, Mr. Frodo. Sam, I left it in Rivendell. And he throws Frodo into the...
No, my favorite is... it's like the Fellowship of Full Power, and it's just Aragorn and Sam.
Aragorn, oh Lord. Yep. That's funny.
Yep.
But yeah, so... oh my God, it's so fucking annoying when it does that. And the thing is, I bought this game when I was 13 years old, and I was here in Florida for a martial arts tournament. And we went to this flea market in Kissimmee, a ginormous flea market. Thousands of stalls must have looked like. And there was one stall that had video games. And I bought this game, new in box, for $10. And I played the fuck out of this game. I beat it with every character. I collected all the secrets. I never played multiplayer because I never knew anybody that had a copy of this game. It was amazing. But now, not so much.
Sorry.
It hasn't aged great. It is still...
It looked cool when you got close enough to the tiny ass screen.
It's cool. And it's fun. It just gets very frustrating with how inconsistent it is sometimes. It's definitely not as great as the GameCube game is, or the PlayStation 2 or Xbox game, wherever the fuck you played it. But it's a fun time. It's just annoying. Now, the cool thing is that you have a bunch of characters to play as. You have Aragorn, Legolas, Gandalf, Frodo, and Eowyn.
Isn't Gimli one too?
In the Return of the King game.
Oh.
Yeah, because I popped it on just to look at it to see what it looked like.
That's what you were doing.
That's what I was doing. The cool thing about all those characters is that most of them have their own different branching story that kind of follows what happens in the movie. So...
Does Eowyn serve Aragorn bad soup?
No.
Damn.
So you have Aragorn and Legolas, which pretty much just follow the story of the movie from the point of before Moria. It starts right before Moria. Mm-hmm. And it ends after Helm's Deep.
Okay.
Yeah. So those two are pretty much the same, that linear path that they take all the way there. Gandalf deviates when he fights the Balrog, which you actually fight the Balrog in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you lose. Or do you win and you become Gandalf?
So you stop right there in the bridge, and he does the whole, I am the flame of whatever, you shall not pass, you flame of fuck you. And
Flame of voodoo.
that.
Yes.
And the bridge breaks. He wakes up in like the pits of Moria. And he's like, falling down was easy, getting up is going to be a problem. And you start walking.
He doesn't talk about passing through time and her whole age and whatever else he says.
No, so
I'm not hating.
You see the steps of the Balrog throughout the stage, like in fire still. Mm-hmm. And Gandalf's like, oh, I guess the fall wasn't enough to kill the Balrog. It's like, no shit, it didn't kill you, you flimsy human.
Oh my gosh. He's not flimsy, and he's not a human.
Flimsy old human man shell. And that fall didn't kill him, it's not gonna kill the
He's like
Balrog.
A god, though.
So you chase down the Balrog, and you fight it, and that fight is complete and total fucking bullshit, too. Because not only is he like chasing you with a sword and shooting fireballs at you, but there's also spikes coming out of the fucking floor.
What's up with the spikes?
I don't know.
There are no spikes.
And he's fighting the Balrog inside of Moria. Didn't in the movie they said that he fought him like in a mountaintop or something?
Yeah, it's like some like other realm mountaintop covered in snow and everything.
That's not how it happened in the game.
I can't remember if how he explains it in the book. But yeah, the movie is definitely on a mountaintop.
But as soon as you beat him, there's a whole thing, and you become Gandalf the White.
Woo!
So you're playing for like a quarter of his story as Gandalf the Grey, and then you turn into Gandalf the White, and you play the rest of the game as that. Which is, I thought that was actually pretty fucking cool.
Can I tell you another story?
What?
So, when he's Gandalf the White, everybody confuses him for Saruman.
Oh, you hear Saruman throughout the game laughing because the crows, the Eye of
whatever they're called.
Yeah. So they're all over the map, and if they see you, they'll fly away, and you have to kill them before they go off screen. Mm-hmm. If they go off screen, then a little eye starts popping up, like the Eye of Sauron.
Oh.
I never actually let it get full, so I'm not 100% sure what the fuck the eye does. But if it gets big enough, you start hearing Saruman laugh.
That's cool.
I remember in the movie they confused him for Saruman. They got pissed off. They pulled out their swords. And
yes, and he cast all of them away, all their weapons away. But I was scrolling Facebook like this past week, and there was a little snippet. I'm assuming it's probably in those special edition discs that I have with the extended editions. But there's this snippet where Christopher Lee is being interviewed, and he's explaining, Peter told me to scream when Wormtongue stabs me in the back. And I was like, no, that's not what people do when they're stabbed in the back. You and you just, fall. And Peter's just like, I wasn't going to fight with him. He's Christopher Lee. Like, he can just do what he wants to do. But they're like, dude, like, he literally fought in, like, World War II. Like, he knows what he's talking about.
He probably stabbed people to death.
We're not going to think about that, okay? God, that man was epic. He was in Star Wars. He was in The Lord of the Rings. He was in so many things. Epic man.
Christopher Lee was a real man.
Yeah.
He was a real man. He was definitely the most interesting man in the world while he was alive.
He was the only person in the cast that, like, met Tolkien.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
Yeah. And I know. I'm going to cry.
That is crazy. Anyways, let me keep telling you about this game so we can go into garbage.
Go.
So, Frodo's story, I think I finished it when I bought it originally when I was like 13.
Why would you want to play Frodo?
I don't know. I didn't.
Because you were a little boy?
No, because I run out of characters.
Oh.
And then Eowyn's is basically her helping her people reach the Helm's Deep. So you get to fight all your way
people
through.
People of Rohan.
And then you fight in Helm's Deep and the glittering caves and whatnot. So I think it's pretty cool that they did add Eowyn into the game and gave her like her own story. It's not just a reskin of Aragorn's or Frodo's or Gandalf's or whatever. No,
she's badass.
Actually, Eowyn's actual story, and you do get to see like the little sprite that they created for Carl Urban and his little digitized face with his text.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like they did take a little bit of liberties with the actual story and whatnot of what happens in the game. Like Gandalf fighting the Balrog in the depths of Moria instead of, in that other plane or in the mountaintop or whatever.
I'll
But
try to pay attention to that part when I eventually reread the
Two
trilogy
Towers,
again.
yeah. I know it wasn't like that, but I did appreciate that they went the extra mile to cover shit that wasn't actually in the movies, even if it's made up just for gameplay sakes. So I did appreciate that. I did like that. But overall, the game is fun. There's no denying that it's fun because it's actually fun. The whole accuracy shit with the hits and the inconsistent damage you take is just god awful. So it sometimes just makes it feel very punishing. But there are, like I said, those moments of you becoming the orc slaying machine and you're just killing and killing and killing and killing.
Whack, whack, whack.
Exactly. And you just see like corpses of orcs just piling up throughout the battlefield as you go.
I love corpses of orcs.
It just shines like the beacons of Gondor.
Let's make a band.
What?
The Corpses of Orcs.
The corpses of orcs. Well, would we sing blues folk music?
We would sing the songs of The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord.
Far
Fucking
over.
nerd. So as much as I loved playing this game growing up, my experience playing this game is definitely a 6 out of 10.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it has its moments, but unfortunately, they're not consistent enough for me to give it a higher rating than that.
I'm really bummed that you're not playing the game that I thought you were going to play next week. So I got to know, based off memory alone, what would you give the game that you were going to play next week?
So
But you're now going to save for next year.
that is Shadow of Mordor. I would give that game an 8
An 8?
from memory.
I want to watch you
8.
play it.
I can probably start it and maybe I'll write down some thoughts and notes and whatever for next year.
You know what
I'll have
else
it
I
banked.
want?
What?
I want you to buy me that Harry Potter video game and let me play it.
Oh boy. So before we finish, I fans of the Lord of the Rings games from the movies that when they came out have been wanting a collection for the longest time. So EA, if you're listening, please just get the license again. Put all those games out, the Gameboy Advance games, the PlayStation games, all of them. Just throw them out for us to be able to buy and play
I
because
wonder if all of that's in Amazon's hands now.
the
Do
rights
they have rights to everything?
the rights for
or-
the games are up in the air. They haven't been bought yet.
Okay.
So I would just love for EA to pick them up and start churning those out because if they throw out a collection with all of these games on it, people are gonna fucking buy it. They're
Yeah.
not gonna give a fuck. They want to play these games, and it's so difficult to get a setup that works right on your TV so you can play an old console and make it look good.
Right.
So I just want Two Towers on Switch. That'll be fun.
That
Or
would
on
be so
PlayStation
cool.
4. That would be fun too. But that's enough of that. Are you ready for your favorite segment?
I am.
What's your favorite segment?
Give me the garbage.
All right, that is Give Me the Garbage.
This week's restaurant is the restaurant of our Lord and Savior, Guy Fieri. Chicken Guy! We finally fucking went to Chicken Guy! Isn't this like around the country? Isn't it a national chain now?
It is a
Just
chain.
Like
I don't know.
sporadic. It's not like your Chick-fil-A and your Popeyes.
Yeah, I don't think it's around the country, but I do know it's a chain.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's our Lord and Savior's,
Guy Fieri.
and
We love him.
it's a chain that has good prices on their food,
Yes.
and the prices.
Just don't go to the Disney Springs location.
Yes, don't go there. That one is hot shit. It's garbage.
It's too busy. They have to turn out
Yeah.
food like by the millisecond.
Yeah. It is. I feel like the food is underpriced for the quality.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I would have paid like $3 more for each item that we ate.
Really?
Yeah.
No, don't give him any ideas, please.
No, don't, the guy, stop it.
He has enough money. Stop.
Stop
He
it,
may
guy.
be our Lord and Savior, but he has enough. He has enough. The man's got like how many TV shows and all of his restaurants and God only knows what else. And he's friends with one of my former boyfriends.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep talking about Chicken Guy.
Okay, yeah. So we finally went to Chicken Guy in Winter Park, not at Disney Springs because we only went there once and we were not fans. But we were pleasantly surprised this time by how good it can be when you're not in a high-paced Disney environment.
That just goes to show you that everything that Disney touches turns to shit.
Oh my gosh, you hush your mouth. You hush your mouth. Hush.
Except for Star Wars because of Dave Filoni. And
so
what's Happy's name? Isn't that wait?
Jon Favreau.
And Jon Favreau.
Yeah. Marvel's good.
Yeah, Kevin Feige is okay.
Oh my god. Anyway, so the first thing that you come upon when you go into Chicken Guy and you get in line is the sauce menu. I feel like Chicken Guy should be called Sauce Guy because it's more about the sauce than it is about the chicken. How many different sauces are there? There are like 20 sauces. It's a lot.
There's 22 sauces.
22.
And they all differ a little bit enough so that they're all different.
I now have my two favorite sauces.
What are your favorite sauces?
The donkey and the Nashville, what's it called?
Nashville Hot Honey.
Hot honey, yeah.
Okay, so I have here the sauce menu, and each one has what ingredients they have.
Don't list all the ingredients, it'll take you forever.
For all of them. So you said the donkey?
Yes.
So the donkey has mayo, roasted garlic, mustard, Worcestershire, and lemon.
That's pretty good.
You did have the special sauce, which is
I wasn't a fan.
Mayo, ketchup, mustard, pickle juice, Chicken Guy special spices, and seasoning, which you also said kind of tasted like...
It tasted like horseradish.
Yeah.
It tasted a lot like horseradish. Did it taste like horseradish
It
to
tastes
you?
like horseradish, but not like a lot like horseradish.
It tasted way too much like horseradish for my taste. I'm not a big horseradish fan.
Perfect for me. Now, what did you have to eat?
I had the 5 tender combo with fries and the macaroni and cheese.
Okay. Now,
Well, we kind of shared the macaroni and cheese, but
let's talk about the negatives first. So
the
let's
macaroni and cheese.
Let's talk about the mac and cheese first.
The noodles were definitely al dente. They were very chewy noodles.
They're a little. I felt like they were a little bit past al dente, but when they got cold, they were not
chewy as fuck. The first bite was like, man, this is really good. And then you took another bite and you're like, oh, this really isn't that great. Unfortunately, it is not Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, even though we do not support Chick-fil-A anymore. We will admit that their mac and cheese is very fucking good.
So I did notice that the mac and cheese is like they put the noodles and then they throw a cheese sauce on top.
And then they have breadcrumbs on top.
Yeah, so it's not like it's actual mac and cheese macaroni that's cooked in cheese.
Right.
So I think that might be why it's weird because I especially when I grabbed it to eat it at the end, you could see like the actual separation of the sauce from noodle.
And
where
I
the
think
noodles weren't coated with the sauce yet.
Right. And I think the cheese was a smoky cheese because I definitely got like smoky and almost like Chipotle hints from it. It wasn't great.
I didn't get any Chipotle from it. I didn't find any spice in it.
You didn't
but I did
think it
find
was smoky?
A tiny
A tiny bit? Really? I thought it was really smoky. It was like not your typical cheese, if you know what I'm saying.
Guy is not your typical guy.
Oh my God. But I don't know. I expected it to be really good and it just wasn't great.
Okay, so second not so great thing, the fries.
Yeah, I mean they were like standard and they were really salty. There was lots of seasoning on them.
They had a lot of seasoning. It was
it was not in a bad way.
It felt like to me like it was the same seasoning they use on the tenders.
Yeah, I think so.
It's sweet, it's kind of smoky, it's salty, garlicky.
I do have one complaint about that. It gets all over your fucking fingers.
Oh,
all over. I felt like I was brushing off seasoning the whole time we were there. Brushing seasoning off. Like, this poor boy's going to have to come over with the broom once we leave because I'm leaving this shit all over the floor.
Oh my God. I'm not even going to fight you on that. Now, the tenders.
The tenders. I have never had like a flat chicken tender like that before. Have you?
I have, but not that big, not that
They're
crunchy.
big, they're crunchy,
Not
and they're
that
flat.
juicy.
They're juicy. They're good.
They are
good.
fucking awesome.
They are really fucking good chicken tenders.
And they have that sweet, salty, garlicky, oniony,
Zesty.
smoky
Yeah.
seasoning all over them.
Yes.
And oh my God, you can eat the fucking tenders on their own. They don't need anything else from how good they
I
are.
don't know. That sauce is real good though. But you don't need to like coat it in sauce. You just get like a little bit, just give you some extra flavor.
Now, my tenders, I had the wasabi honey, the Nashville hot honey, and the avocado crema.
Yes.
So the wasabi honey is wasabi, honey, lime, and I'm guessing neon food coloring.
Yeah, because it was like, wow. It looked like absinthe.
It did look like absinthe. It was green.
I mean, wasabi is not like that green. It's more like avocado green. It doesn't look like what that looked like. I figured it would look more like the avocado crema. Maybe they have to do something to differentiate. I don't know.
So the one thing that I will complain about the sauce, especially the wasabi
And the Nashville. Yes, they are not sauces.
they didn't feel like sauces. They felt more like a
Liquid. Marinade.
like a marinade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were thin. They were thin. They were very.
They were
very,
very
thin.
watery. Very watery. You had to like shake off before you went to take your actual bite. Otherwise, you're gonna drip it all over the place.
Yeah. But I really, really like the wasabi honey
I did not.
because it had.
Whew, it was too much.
So wasabi is not really what you would call like a traditional spicy
No.
because it is not.
It's a clean you the fuck out.
It's not a all-consuming hell after you eat it. It is like, oh my God, it's spicy. Well, it's gone, pretty much.
It's not even spicy though.
It's like a bite. It's like somebody
It's
bites
like-
your tongue and that's it.
No. It's like putting Vicks in your mouth.
Oh my Lord.
And it opens up all of your pores and your sinuses and your brain cavities, and then it's gone.
Exactly. That's what I love about it. It's like immediate
but the
flavor and itch, and
But
then
the
it's just
flavor's
gone.
not good. I don't know.
Okay, so I've always said that wasabi kind of reminds me of the green foam that you use to put flowers in so that they stay alive.
Oh my God, yes.
But in a good way.
I can't.
And it was very sweet.
It was weird. It was off-putting for me.
I didn't taste the lime at all, but I thought that sauce was so fucking
I definitely
good.
tasted the wasabi and the honey, but yeah, not the lime.
The Nashville hot honey
It was
is
awesome.
honey, red chilies, cayenne, garlic, and onion. That one was also very thin, and it was pretty good.
It was very good. I loved it, other than it being watery.
Yeah, that's
It was real tasty.
that's literally the only complaint, because that sauce kind of reminded me of chicken fire,
Yeah.
because it played really well with the spices on top of the chicken, and it didn't really burn like chicken fire does. It just kind of like enhanced the flavor and kind of turned the chicken tender into something else instead of just leaving it as a chicken tender with sauce. So that one was amazing. Now the avocado crema, I thought it was okay. It's avocado, sour cream, cilantro, and lime. You loved it.
I
No?
loved the first bite. It kind of started to lose me as I continued.
So I traded it with you.
Yes, for the
Special.
Yeah, because
The
I
special.
didn't like it.
I like the special. I liked it more than the avocado crema, because I feel like the avocado crema had it was made fresh. I know it was
It was
definitely
a little too fresh.
I know it
honestly.
was definitely made fresh. But my thing about it is that it had pockets where it was just pure lime.
Yeah,
And that's where it lost me.
yeah.
And if there's anything I hate in my food, is lime.
He's very, very anti-lime. Like,
Yeah. Unless
incredibly so.
it's a limeade
Yeah, or Sprite.
or a lime sorbet.
Yeah.
But I just keep it the fuck off my food. And I also had the Sauce Boss chicken sandwich, which is lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles, and your choice of any two signature sauces. I chose the donkey sauce and the special sauce. you had a bite of the sandwich, right?
Yes, I did.
What did you think
It
about
was
the sandwich?
fucking amazing. I loved it.
It
I
was
want to get a sandwich next time.
it was great.
It was
It was really good.
really good.
I do have one complaint about the sandwich.
Oh my
though.
gosh, what's your one complaint?
It was built weird.
It was really weird.
Like there was like the two chicken patties on top of tenders on top of each other, and then like there was one complete side where it was just lettuce, tomato, pickles, and sauce, and I just like bit into it
And
thinking
your
I would
chicken was gone, and you just had all the
like I'm
shit.
chewing. I'm like, where the fuck is the chicken? And then I look at it, and the whole tenders are just on one side.
It was very lopsided, but it tasted really good.
It was really fucking good. That chicken sandwich. If we had to do another battle of the chicken sandwiches, I would say that would be the number one.
Yeah, I like extra stuff on my sandwich. I typically want more than just sauce and pickles.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. This is good because it has more stuff on it than just sauce and pickles.
Yeah. Now, I loved Chicken Guy, but you unfortunately didn't feel the same way that I did.
No, not well. I mean, I did in some way. I don't know. We did disagree on a couple points.
Like what?
Like, I thought that it was kind of almost garbage, whereas you thought it was garbage. But I thought parts of it were garbage and parts of it were not, which
Yes.
is why
But then we both agreed that
the chicken
is
is garbage.
and that is the reason
And
why
the
you go to Chicken
sandwich
Guy.
is garbage. Yeah.
Everything else is just okay.
Yeah. Some of the sauces were just not great.
So my favorite chicken place that we've talked about on this show since we started doing it has been
Chicken fire.
Chicken Fire. Fucking absolutely love Chicken Fire.
Oh, we've only been one time.
Yeah, and we really should remedy that, but it's just so uncomfortable to get there.
Let's just go back and get the sliders and get the wimpy ones. Since they're full fucking
meek?
gigantic sandwiches.
Yeah, they're fucking liars.
No, I think I need wimpy. I need something even lower than meek.
I think meek is the lowest. Other than that, it's nothing.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
Just get me a bun and some toppings. I don't even need the chicken. It's too hot.
Yeah. So not Chicken Guy, Chicken Fire being our favorite.
Your favorite.
Chicken place that we've reviewed here. What's your favorite chicken
What's
place?
my fucking favorite chicken place?
What's your peacock chicken place?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I like Zaxby's.
oh my god, that place is not.
I know you get sick of Zaxby's.
Yeah.
But I fucking love it.
I would say the Chicken Guy is like right under there with Chicken Fire. We still
Yeah, now that we like know which sauces we like and we know not to get the macaroni and cheese, and we know the fries are not really necessary.
I wouldn't go out of my way to go there, but if I'm in
Because
the
it
area,
is a little bit out of the way.
yeah. If I'm in the area, I'm definitely gonna pop in because it's good. Just like Chicken Fire. If I'm in the area, I'm gonna pop in.
We just need to go to that other chicken place and see where it falls.
Jam Hot Chicken.
Yes.
We should probably do that. Actually, we
You want
should
to do it next week?
Mm,
Our 2 Lord of the Rings episodes? Maybe.
I wouldn't hate that. Thing is, we have a guest, a local Orlando guest that's going to be on the show sometime soon.
And wants to go there.
I don't know, but I think that might be a good place to go with him.
Oh.
So,
Or we could have a cohesive Lord of the Rings theme.
chicken and chicken.
Chicken and chicken.
Okay, then I guess we're gonna have
Chicken
to do
and
that.
chicken.
I guess we're gonna have to go to Jam Hot Chicken this weekend, and I am not
I'm
mad
gonna get
about
that ice cream sandwich.
The one between the chickens.
Yeah.
Wait, the ones where the chickens are the patties, and the ice cream is the.
I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yes, I think that's it. It's the two chicken patties, and there's ice cream.
I just know
between
there
them.
was ice cream on a hot chicken sandwich. I wish y'all could see his face right now.
We're doing it.
Also, would anyone want to see us record an episode on YouTube and see our facial expressions? I'd have to do my makeup because, normally it's Sunday night and I don't look so good.
I'm sure
I never look so good.
there are a couple of people that have told me that they wish that we did like actual video. So
I'm sure they would have loved to see my facial reaction to the minion sock. That was pretty priceless.
Yeah. Anyways, we have to review it. So
yes.
Here is our new text for the review. So on a scale of garbage, meh, okay, almost garbage, and God tier garbage, what would you rate this food as?
If we have to agree, then we'll say garbage. But if we are agreeing to disagree, I say it's almost garbage.
You think it's almost garbage?
The chicken is garbage.
Okay, and
everything else is not.
And I'm saying that that's the main reason why you would go to Chicken Guy for the chicken. So it is.
And that sandwich was fucking awesome. I wish I'd gotten a sandwich.
Yeah, it really was. So I guess that against your wishes, Chicken Guy's garbage.
Yeah, it's fair. Guy Fieri deserves it.
He's our Lord and Savior.
Our Lord and Savior. Can you imagine if Guy Fieri heard this episode? He wouldn't sit through all this shit.
Like, what are these fucking dicks gonna get?
Such a nerd. Nerds.
All right, so let's get ahead and get out of garbage. And the only housekeeping we have is that our art was done by Metamorphica. You can find her on Instagram, and her link is in the show notes. Other than that, we're all set for this week. That's the first episode of Middle Earth March.
Yeah, first and one of only two.
And next week we'll be back with another Middle Earth March.
Well, actually, we'll have 3. It's one for Patreon.
I think there might be 2 for Patreon. I got to figure that out.
2 Lord of the Rings episodes for Patreon?
Yeah, I'll figure that out.
Oh.
We'll go over it.
Okay. You're signing me up for like 5 Patreon episodes this week. I'm not doing that shit.
Well, too bad. You want to say goodbye to everyone?
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.